Ethan had visited the Valari home many times before, but something felt different tonight. His alien friend, Kaler, had invited him to celebrate a local festival that humans rarely got to see. Ethan was excited, nervous, and curious all at once. The Valari were tall, elegant beings with glowing patterns on their skin and soft, melodic voices. Their homes were smooth and curved, made of crystal-like walls that shifted color based on mood. As Ethan stepped inside their house, he felt a warm wave of light move over him, as if the building itself welcomed him. Kaler laughed and led him forward. "Relax, Ethan. My family is happy you came." But not everyone seemed happy. Kaler's sister, Sarai, stood at the far end of the room, watching Ethan silently. Her skin glowed brighter than most Valari, silver blue with faint swirls of light. Her eyes were sharp, bright, and hard to read. Ethan had met her only once before, and even then she barely said anything. Tonight, she looked different, more focused, almost serious. Still, Ethan tried to smile at her. She didn't smile back. The festival went on with soft singing, floating lights, and plates of warm, fragrant food. But Sarai kept staring at him, like she was studying every move he made. Even Kaler noticed and frowned. "Ignore her," he whispered. "She's complicated." Hours passed. It was late when Kaler received a message from the city council and had to leave for a moment. "Stay here. I'll be back soon." Ethan nodded. He didn't notice that Sarai had stepped closer until she was standing right beside him. "You should rest," she said quietly. Her voice was calm but carried something he couldn't understand. Before he could respond, she gently took his arm. "Come with me." Ethan followed, unsure what else to do. She led him down a curved hallway lit by soft blue lights. At the end was a small round door. "You may wait here," she said. Then she touched the door panel, and it slid open. Ethan stepped inside. The room was simple. Smooth walls, a soft glowing floor, and a wide resting bed that looked like it was made of living crystal. Before Ethan could turn around to say something, the door shut behind him with a quiet hiss. He reached for the panel, but it didn't respond. "Sarai," he called. No answer. He tried again, pressing every glowing symbol he could find, but nothing happened. The door stayed sealed. His heart began to pound. Something felt wrong. Very wrong. Then he heard footsteps. Slow, calm, confident. Sarai appeared on the other side of the transparent door. Her glowing patterns pulsed gently, like a heartbeat. She looked directly at him. "You will stay here," she said softly. Ethan froze. "What?" Sarai, open the door. Her eyes didn't move. "No." He felt a chill run down his spine. "Sarai, what is this? Why did you bring me here?" She placed her hand on the glass-like door. Her voice dropped to a whisper, soft but filled with intense certainty. "You belong here. You belong to me." Ethan felt his breath catch. "Sarai, you can't do this. Let me out." "No," her voice didn't shake. It didn't rise. It was calm, controlled, and absolute. "I have watched you. I know your heart. I know your strength. You are different from the others of your kind. You do not run from the unknown. You do not break when things become difficult." She stepped closer. Her glowing patterns brightened. "You are mine now." Ethan backed away from the door. This had to be a misunderstanding. Some cultural confusion. Something. But the way she spoke, quiet, certain, made him feel trapped in a way he had never felt before. He took a long breath. "Sarai, Kayla wouldn't approve of this." Her expression didn't change. "Kayla will understand. Eventually." Ethan's heart began racing. "What do you want from me?" Sarai tilted her head, studying him like he was a rare discovery. "I want what belongs to me." "And you do." Ethan stared at her, confused and afraid. "I'm human. You're Valari. This isn't normal." "There is nothing normal about destiny," she said. The lights in the room dimmed, shifting to a deeper shade of blue, as if the room itself responded to her mood. Ethan stepped back until he reached the far wall. Sarai placed both hands on the transparent door, and the entire door began to glow with soft silver light. She whispered again, almost gently, almost tender, "You belong to me now." The glow faded. The door sealed even tighter, and Sarai walked away, leaving Ethan alone in the silent room. Ethan tried to stay calm, tried to think clearly, tried to breathe normally. But the truth was clear. He was trapped, and he had no idea how far Sarai was willing to go. Ethan waited in the silent room, hoping Sarai would return and explain everything. Maybe this was a misunderstanding. Maybe she didn't mean it the way it sounded. But deep down, he already knew that was not true. He had seen the look in her eyes. She meant every word. You belong to me now. The memory of her whisper echoed in the quiet room. Ethan forced himself to sit on the edge of the crystal-like bed. He took slow breaths. Panic would not help him. He needed to think. He needed to understand why Sarai had done this. And he needed to get out. He pressed the door panel again. No reaction. The symbols did not change. The door stayed locked. No windows. No vents large enough to slip through. No hidden switches. He was trapped in a perfect alien prison. Minutes turned into an hour. Then more. Finally, footsteps echoed again. The lights brightened as Sarai returned. She walked slowly, gracefully, with the same calm expression she always wore. She stopped in front of the transparent door and looked at him, her eyes full of quiet intensity. "You have not eaten," she said softly. Ethan stared at her. "Let me out, Sarai." Her expression did not change. "When it is time." "It's time now," Ethan said firmly. Sarai touched the door again, and a small opening appeared at the bottom, a narrow slot. A tray slid through, carrying a bowl of glowing blue soup and a small plate of soft fruit-like pieces. "You must eat," she said. "Humans weaken fast." Ethan didn't move toward the food. "Sarai, this is wrong. Only from your point of view." He sighed. "Why are you doing this?" She looked at him for a long moment, as if deciding how much to reveal. "Humans do not see what others see," she said. "But I see you clearly." "That doesn't answer anything," Ethan said. Sarai stepped closer, her hand pressing flat against the door. The glowing patterns on her skin pulsed brighter. "You came into our lives. You treated my brother with respect when others from your kind feared him. You learned our words. You listened. You tried to understand. That doesn't mean you can lock me up," Ethan said sharply. Sarai continued as if she didn't hear him. "Most humans look at us with fear or curiosity, but you look at us like people, like equals. That is rare. That is valuable." Ethan shook his head. "You can't just take someone because you admire them." Her eyes softened slightly. "I do not admire you." She paused. "I claim you." Ethan felt his stomach twist. "I'm not an object." "No," Sarai whispered. "You are something far more important." She lowered her hand and stepped back. Her expression remained calm, but her eyes were filled with something deeper, something obsessive. "The Council fears what humans can become," she said. "But I do not fear it. I want to protect it." "Protect you?" Ethan frowned. "Protect me from what?" Sarai stared at him with that same unshakable certainty. "From the things coming for your world. From the things that want to use you. From the ones who will see your strength and try to take it." Ethan blinked. "What things? What do you mean?" Sarai didn't answer. She simply turned away. "Eat, Ethan. You will need your strength." "I don't want food," he snapped. "I want answers." But she didn't turn around. "I will return soon," she said, and began walking down the hallway. Ethan grabbed the tray and slid it back toward the slot. "I'm not eating until you let me out." Sarai stopped, just for a moment. Then she said quietly, "Humans always make things harder for themselves." And she left. The hallway lights dimmed again. The house grew silent. Ethan sat down, frustrated and tired. But he wasn't giving up. He wasn't going to break. Humans didn't give up. Not in the stories he had heard, not in the history he knew, and not now. After some time, Ethan heard footsteps again, but these were faster, heavier, and less graceful. The door panel flickered. Then Kaler's voice whispered sharply, "Ethan, are you in there?" Relief hit him instantly. "Kaler." "Yes, I'm here." The panel glowed, but the door didn't open. Kaler cursed softly. "I knew something was wrong," Kaler said. "Sarai told Mother you left early, but I didn't believe her. She has always been crazy, Ethan suggested. Kaler winced. We do not use that word, but she is strong-willed and very sure of her choices. Well, her choice is terrible, Ethan said. Get me out. Kaler pressed his hand to the door. It flashed red. She locked it with her own key code. Only she can unlock it. Ethan sighed. Of course she did. Kaler lowered his voice. Listen, I will find a way, but you must stay calm. Do not fight her. Do not challenge her. It will only make things worse. Ethan nodded. Just hurry. Kaler turned quickly. I will return soon. Don't lose hope. Ethan watched him disappear down the hallway. Then the lights shifted. Footsteps returned. Slow. Calm. Sarai. She stood in front of the door again, her eyes glowing brighter. You tried to escape, she whispered. Ethan's heart dropped. Sarai placed her hand on the door. Her voice was soft, but dangerous. Do not try that again. Sarai's calm voice cut through the silence like a cold blade. Ethan felt his chest tighten as she stood outside the transparent door, her glowing patterns pulsing slowly like a heartbeat. You tried to escape, she whispered again. Ethan kept his voice steady. I didn't try anything. Kaler came on his own. Sarai tilted her head, her expression unreadable. Kaler worries too much. He does not understand what must be done. Then explain it. Ethan said, because right now it looks like you're kidnapping me. Sarai stepped closer. You think in small lines. Short thoughts. Human thoughts. You do not see the bigger shapes. Ethan frowned. Shapes? There's a shadow over your world, she said quietly. A danger your people do not know. A danger the Valari Council hides. They hope they can avoid conflict. But conflict will come. And you, she paused, you are one of the very few who could survive what is coming. Ethan stared at her. I'm just a normal guy. No, Sarai whispered. You are not. Her eyes glowed brighter, almost silver. Ethan felt the air change. The hum of the room deepened, as if reacting to her emotions. You do not see yourself, she said. But I see you. I have watched your actions, your choices, your strength, your spirit. Ethan took a step back. Sarai, that doesn't mean you can trap me. You are safer here than anywhere else in this galaxy, she said. Time will prove this. Before Ethan could answer, Sarai reached up and touched the door panel. The light flickered, and the room dimmed slightly. Rest, she said. Then, without waiting for a reply, she walked away. The hallway lights faded behind her. Ethan sat down slowly, rubbing the side of his face. His mind spun. A shadow over Earth? The Council hiding something? Him being important? None of it made sense. He wasn't special. He wasn't a hero. He was a visitor, a mechanic back on Earth. Someone who liked learning alien languages and fixing things. Nothing more. He stayed there for a long time, listening to the quiet hum of the room. Hours passed. Maybe more. At last, footsteps approached again. Not Sarai's. These footsteps were quicker, sharper. The door panel glowed faintly, and Kaler's voice whispered, Ethan, she is in meditation. I do not have much time. Ethan's heart lifted. Can you open it now? Kaler tried again. The door flashed red. He cursed softly. Her key code is complex. She built it herself. Ethan pressed his hand against the glass. Kaler, what is happening? She said something about danger. Something coming for Earth. Kaler's expression tightened. She should not have told you. So it's true? Kaler hesitated. There are rumors. Signals from deep space. Movements that make no sense. Some believe another species is preparing for expansion, but we do not know enough. The Council does not want panic. Sarai, she was always too curious. Too bold. Bold enough to kidnap me, Ethan muttered. Kaler nodded sadly. She believes she is protecting you. She believes you will play a role in the future. I'm a mechanic, Ethan said. Not some hero from a legend. Kaler leaned closer. Ethan, humans are different. You adapt. You survive things that break other species. Your history is filled with impossible stories. Sarai thinks this makes you special. Ethan shook his head. I didn't ask for any of this. I know, Kaler said softly, but she will not stop unless I find a peaceful way to convince her. She is stronger than me, and very determined. Can't your parents help? Kaler looked away. Our parents cannot go against her rank. Rank? Kaler swallowed nervously. Sarai is part of the High Guard training program. She holds authority. Even mother and father cannot command her if she believes it is for protection. Ethan felt cold. Perfect. The one obsessed with me is also the one who can legally lock me up. Kaler leaned closer again. Listen carefully. Tonight, she will enter deep meditation for 4 hours. That is the only time she cannot sense changes in the house. I will try to override the door before she wakes. Ethan nodded. Just tell me when. I will return when the time is right, Kaler whispered. Be ready. He moved back and disappeared again, the hallway lights fading behind him. Ethan sat on the bed. His pulse was racing now. Finally, there was hope. He could escape. But just as he took a deep breath, something unexpected happened. The room lights shifted again, slowly turning from soft blue to deep violet. A moment later, Ethan felt a vibration under the floor, a quiet, distant thrum. Then a voice came from the ceiling, soft, feminine, and familiar. Ethan, Sarai's voice. His stomach dropped. She's not meditating, he whispered. But the voice continued calmly. I can hear your heartbeat from anywhere in this home. The transparent door glowed faintly. I know you feel fear. I know you want to leave. But you do not understand the danger outside. You do not understand what humans truly are. Ethan swallowed hard. Sarai's voice softened, almost sad. If you escape, you will die. The lights dimmed again, and the room went silent. Ethan sat frozen, feeling the last echo of Sarai's voice fade through the room. She wasn't even near the door. She wasn't walking. She wasn't speaking through a panel. Her voice had come from the house itself. She had connected her mind to the entire structure. Ethan's breath tightened. She can hear my heartbeat, he whispered. That meant she could track him anywhere. That meant she knew every fear, every thought, every spike of emotion. How could he escape someone who could sense him like that? He forced himself to sit and breathe slowly. He needed to stay calm. Panicked heartbeat meant she would come back. Calm heartbeat meant silence. Minutes passed. Or maybe an hour. He couldn't tell anymore. Finally, the room lighting returned to a soft blue. Nothing else happened. No footsteps. No voice. No change. Just silence. Ethan waited until he was sure Sarai wasn't monitoring him directly. He whispered to himself, Kaler, please hurry. He stood and walked around the small room again, checking for anything he might have missed. The walls were smooth, the corners seamless. The bed felt like living crystal, warm under his hand. The room had no weak points. But Ethan wasn't done. Humans didn't quit. He tested every unseen surface, pressed every curved edge, tapped the walls for hollow sounds, checked under the bed, behind the soft glowing lines, even the drinking panel. Nothing. He sat again, tired, frustrated, but still refusing to give up. Suddenly, a soft sound came from the hallway. Not footsteps. A faint hum different from Sarai's presence. Then a whisper came through the door frame. Ethan, it's me. Kaler. Ethan stood quickly. Is she asleep? Yes, Kaler whispered. Her mind is in deep phase meditation. This is our chance. The door flickered as Kaler pressed something against it. A small tool with glowing marks. It hummed softly. Ethan leaned closer. Can you open it this time? Kaler pressed another sequence. The door flashed orange, then blue, then red. No, Kaler muttered. Her lock is more advanced than I thought. She changed it recently. Ethan groaned. Great. She updated my prison. Kaler's eyes softened with guilt. I am sorry, but there may still be another way. I found something. Ethan's heartbeat picked up, and then he remembered Sarai's warning. He forced himself to breathe slower. Calm, Kaler whispered. The house is connected to an old emergency system. It was built before our technology changed. I found the manual. If I override the power for 10 seconds, the doors in this hallway will unlock automatically. Ethan's hope rose. Do it. Kaler hesitated. It will make a sound. A loud one. If Sarai wakes. Do you have a better idea? Ethan asked. Kaler swallowed. No. He took the tool and placed it on the wall beside the door. It sank halfway into the crystal-like surface and began pulsing with bright green light. Ethan stepped back as the hum grew louder. Kaler whispered, When the door opens, run. Do not look back. Go to the outer balcony. I will meet you there. Ethan nodded. What about Sarai? Kaler's voice was tight. If she wakes early, I will try to slow her. Ethan didn't like that answer, but he had no choice. Ready? Kaler asked. Yes. Kaler pressed the center of the device. A deep, sharp THOM vibrated through the hallway. The walls shook. The lights flickered. Ethan held his breath. 2 seconds. 3 seconds. 5 seconds. The door flickered. It clicked. It slid open. Ethan stumbled out into the hallway, his legs shaky but determined. Kaler grabbed his arm. Go! Ethan ran. The curved hallway stretched in front of him like a glowing tunnel. He sprinted past shimmering doors and silver walls, feeling the house tremble behind him. His breath was loud, but he kept it steady. He didn't want Sarai's mind to sense panic. Behind him, Kaler whispered urgently, Keep running. Ethan rounded a corner and stopped dead. The main hall was ahead, but Sarai stood there, not fully awake, her eyes half open, glowing unevenly, as if her meditation had been broken suddenly. Her steps were slow, unbalanced, her hair drifting around her like floating strands of light. She looked dangerous. Her voice was soft and hollow, as if spoken from 2 places at once. Ethan's heart jumped despite himself. Her glowing eyes brightened. You are leaving? Ethan took a step back. Sarai, listen. Her expression shifted, a mixture of hurt, confusion, and something darker. Kaler came rushing behind Ethan. She woke too early. Sarai lifted her hand. The walls vibrated. The lights flickered violently. A wind-like force pushed against Ethan's chest, strong enough to make him stumble. Sarai whispered, Do not leave me. Ethan stood his ground. You can't keep me here forever. Sarai's breathing grew uneven. The glowing patterns on her skin flickered wildly, like lightning trapped under her skin. She whispered one broken word. Mine! Kaler stepped between them. Sarai, stop. He is not your possession. Sarai's eyes snapped toward her brother. The wind shifted. A new pressure filled the hallway, stronger, colder. Kaler froze, fear in his eyes. Run, Ethan, he whispered. Sarai took a step forward, and the house trembled as if responding to her anger. Ethan had only one choice. He ran. Ethan ran with everything he had. The smooth crystal floor felt like it was moving under him as the house trembled again, reacting to Sarai's unstable energy. Blue lights flickered above. A low humming sound filled the hallways, like the building was warning him to stop. But he did not stop. He rounded a corner and sprinted down another hallway, this one broader, with tall windows showing the city outside. The alien towers glowed softly in the night, lights drifting between them like floating stars. He had always loved the view. Tonight, he barely saw it. Behind him, a sharp voice echoed through the halls. Ethan! Sarai. Her voice wasn't calm now. It wasn't soft. It shook with emotion, fear, anger, confusion. Something deeper he didn't understand. Ethan didn't look back. He pushed forward, heart pounding, breath sharp in his lungs. He forced himself to breathe slower. Kaler said Sarai could feel his heartbeat. He needed to stay steady. But running steady was not easy. He reached a split in the hallway. Left led to the inner chambers. Right led toward the outer balcony, the place Kaler said to go. He turned right, but as he ran, the lights in the hallway suddenly dimmed. The glowing walls shifted from blue to red. The door to the balcony ahead slid closed, ceiling shut. Ethan skidded to a stop. No, 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 open, he shouted, slamming his hand on the panel. It didn't move. Footsteps echoed behind him. Slow, controlled, getting closer. Ethan turned around. Sarai stood at the far end of the hallway, her glowing patterns flickering wildly like a storm under her skin. Her eyes were bright silver now, brighter than he had ever seen. Her chest rose and fell quickly, her breath uneven. She wasn't calm anymore. She wasn't in control. She whispered, "Why do you run?" Ethan forced himself to stay steady. "Because you locked me up, Sarai." "I protected you," she said. Her voice cracked. "I protected what is mine. I'm not yours." The moment he said it, her glow dimmed for just a second, like the words hurt. Then her expression hardened again. "You do not understand. You cannot understand. Humans are not safe outside this home. Not anymore." Ethan shook his head. "Sarai, listen to me. You're afraid of something. Something big. But trapping me won't stop it." Her eyes narrowed. A trembling breath escaped her. "I cannot lose you." "You never had me," Ethan said softly. Sarai froze. Her glow flickered like a candle in the wind. For a moment, she looked less like a powerful alien and more like a lonely person trying to hold on to something slipping away. But then, her hair lifted gently as the air around her shifted again. Her voice grew colder. "If you walk away now," she whispered, "you will die before the next sunrise. Your world will lose you. Everything you could become lost." Ethan stood tall. "I'll take that risk." Sarai shook her head quickly. Too quickly. "No, no. You do not understand what is coming." "Then tell me." Ethan yelled. Sarai's expression twisted. "I cannot. The council forbids it. And you would try to stop it. Humans always try to stop things bigger than they are." Ethan held her gaze. "Maybe that's why you're afraid of us." Sarai's glow flared. She stepped forward, and the hallway lights pulsed with each step. Ethan backed away until his spine hit the locked balcony door. Sarai whispered, voice shaking, "I am not afraid of you. I am afraid of losing you." Before Ethan could reply, "Sarai, stop." Kaler's voice cut through the tension. He ran into the hallway from behind Sarai, his breathing heavy. His chest glowed with his own energy as he tried to calm her. Sarai turned her head slightly. "Brother, look at yourself," Kaler said. "You're hurting the house. You're scaring him. This is not the way." "He tried to leave," Sarai whispered, "because you locked him in a room." Kaler shouted. Sarai's glow flickered again. Her eyes softened, just for a moment. Kaler stepped closer. "Sarai, you love too strongly. You hold too tightly. But Ethan cannot be protected like this." Sarai looked at Ethan again. Her voice broke into a whisper. "If he leaves, he will die." "That is not your decision," Kaler said gently. Sarai trembled. "I felt something in the night. Something watching him. Something close." Kaler swallowed. "I know." Ethan stiffened. "What was watching me?" Sarai didn't answer. Instead, her glowing pattern slowly dimmed to a soft silver. She looked at Ethan with sad, tired eyes. "You do not know what you are. You do not know what they want from you." Ethan shook his head. "Then tell me." Sarai lifted her hand toward him, not to trap him, not to control him, but slowly, gently, like she was reaching out to someone she cared about. Before she could speak, a massive boom shook the entire house. All three of them froze. The walls trembled. The lights flickered violently. Kaler's eyes widened. That came from outside. Sarai's expression changed instantly, from emotional to full alert. "They found him," she whispered. Ethan felt cold. "Who?" Sarai slowly turned her head toward the far window, where a dark shape moved across the sky. Her voice was barely a breath. "The ones who've been searching for you." The deep night inside Kayla's family tower felt colder than usual. Ethan could sense at the moment they returned from the council chambers. The halls were silent. The floating lights along the walls dimmed. The air was heavy, as if the tower itself was holding its breath. Kayla held Ethan's wrist not roughly, but firmly, guiding him to the long corridors. She didn't speak. Her glowing markings were dim, almost fading. She looked angry, hurt, and unsure all at the same time. Ethan didn't try to pull away. He could feel something breaking inside her, and he feared saying anything wrong would make it worse. They finally stepped into Kayla's private chamber. The door closed behind them with a soft hiss. Kayla released his wrist and walked straight to the far window. She placed both hands on the glass, staring out at the endless alien city below. For a long moment, she said nothing. Ethan waited. Finally, her voice broke the silence. Soft, quiet, but shaking. They want to take you from me. Ethan's chest tightened. Kayla, she didn't turn around. They don't care that you saved us. They don't care that you helped me tonight. All they see is that you are human, that you don't belong in our house. He took a slow step forward. They want to protect you, Ethan said. I understand that. Her fists tightened. That is not their job. You are mine. He froze. Kayla finally turned her head, and Ethan felt the heat of her golden eyes. Not the dangerous heat from earlier. Something deeper, frightened, desperate. I don't mean it the way humans think, she said, voice trembling. When I say you are mine, it means I trust you. It means I choose you over everyone else. That bond is rare for us. Ethan stepped closer. I know. No, she whispered, shaking her head. You don't. If the council declares you unsafe, they will take you away. Far away. They will send you back to Earth or somewhere else they control, and I will not be allowed to stop them. The thought hit Ethan like a punch to the chest. Being taken, separated from her, used as some political piece. He swallowed hard. Kayla, are they really going to do that? Yes. She turned fully toward him now. Unless I prove you belong here. With me. Ethan blinked. How? Kayla stepped closer, her markings slowly brightening again. My brother gave you protection, but it is not enough. They think he is acting emotionally. They think I am unstable. The only way to fight them is to show them we are linked, connected, that taking you away would cause harm. He frowned. Linked. Yes, she said. There's an ancient ritual, a bond ritual. If I perform it with someone, then removing that person becomes almost impossible by our law. Ethan felt his heartbeat speeding up. A bond ritual? With me? Kayla nodded once, her eyes soft now, almost pleading. But is it dangerous? He asked. For you? No, she said. For me, perhaps. That made him step back a little. What do you mean? If the ritual fails, the backlash hurts the one who performs it, she explained. But I am willing to take that risk, because I will not lose you. Ethan stared at her, speechless. He saw no obsession in her eyes, no selfishness, only real fear, real emotion. He slowly approached her again. Kayla, I don't want to see you hurt. Not for me. You won't, she whispered, because I know the bond will succeed. I know what I feel, and I know what you feel too, even if you have not said it yet. Heat rose in Ethan's face. He didn't deny it. Kayla stepped even closer, their faces only inches apart. Her voice softened. Do you trust me? Ethan breathed out slowly. Yes. Kayla closed her eyes for a moment, steadying her breath. Then sit with me, she said. The ritual begins with calm hearts. Ethan sat with her on the floor as the lights dimmed further. Kayla placed her hands gently on his, and faint golden lines rose from her skin, wrapping around his fingers. The air grew warm, but before she could begin the ritual, a loud, echoing boom shook the tower. Both of them jumped. The lights flickered red. An alarm blared through the chambers. A robotic voice rang out. Warning. Unauthorized breach detected. Intruders inside the tower. Kayla's eyes widened. No, this cannot be happening now. Ethan stood up. Who would break into your tower? Her expression hardened, markings flaring bright. Someone who wants you taken before the ritual is complete. Another blast shook the floor beneath them. The tower trembled. Screams echoed from the lower levels. Kayla grabbed Ethan's hand. We have to move. Now. Ethan nodded, adrenaline rising. Where? Kayla opened a hidden panel in the wall. A narrow escape corridor glowing faint blue. To safety, she said. And then we finish the ritual. No matter what. Together, they ran into the hidden passage as the tower behind them continued to shake. The escape corridor was narrow and dim, glowing faint blue as Ethan and Kayla ran through it. The tower behind them shook again from another explosion, and the alarms grew louder. Ethan could hear distant shouting, the sound of energy weapons, and the heavy footsteps of intruders moving closer. Kayla kept his hand tight in hers. Her markings glowed bright gold now, bright enough to light the path around them. She was afraid, but she was also focused, determined. "We are almost at the inner chamber," she said. "It is the safest place in the tower. The walls are reinforced. No one can break in easily." Ethan nodded, breathing hard. "Who are they? Why now?" Kayla's voice grew cold. "Council loyalists. The ones who want you removed before I can bond with you." Ethan's stomach twisted. "So they're trying to stop us." "They want to erase you," she said. "They think humans are a threat. They think we shouldn't form bonds with your kind." They reached a circular room, a small chamber with thick metal walls and a single door that sealed behind them. The air hummed with quiet energy, and strange symbols glowed on the floor. Kayla quickly moved to the center. "We do not have much time. If they break through, they will take you. They will not care what it does to me." Ethan stepped beside her. "Then let's start. I'm ready." Kayla turned to him. Her voice softened, filled with worry. "Ethan, the bond ritual is powerful. It connects our thoughts, our emotions. You must stay calm. If fear overwhelms you, the ritual may break, and the backlash will hit me." Ethan swallowed hard. "I won't let anything hurt you." She touched her forehead gently against his, a small gesture among her people, but one that meant trust, closeness, choice. "Then breathe with me." They knelt together in the center of the symbols. Kayla placed both her hands over his. Golden light rose from her markings again, swirling around their fingers, then around their arms. Ethan felt warmth spreading through his chest, a soft, pulling feeling, like someone touching his thoughts. "Kayla, I can feel something." "That is good," she whispered. "Let the bond open." The room began to glow brighter. Symbols on the floor lit up like fire. The air hummed louder. Kayla closed her eyes, concentrating deeply. "Say my name," she said softly. "Kayla." Her markings burst into bright gold. "Good. Now tell me what I am to you." Ethan hesitated. His heart pounded, but he knew the truth. "You're someone I trust," he said. "Someone I want to stay with. Someone I won't leave behind." Kayla's breath caught. Just for a second, her voice trembled. "And I will protect you with everything I have." The golden light grew brighter, wrapping around them like a cocoon. Ethan felt warmth inside his mind. Kayla's presence, her emotions, her fear of losing him, her anger at the council, her hope for something more. "I can feel you," Ethan whispered. "I can feel everything." That means the bond is almost complete. Just a few more seconds. Boom! A loud explosion blasted through the chamber door. The metal bent inward. Light flickered. Kayla gasped, losing focus for a moment. The golden light around them shook. "No!" she shouted. "Stay connected. Do not let go." Ethan squeezed her hands. "I'm here. I'm not letting go." Another explosion smashed the door halfway open. Shadowy figures in armored suits appeared behind the smoke. Energy weapons charged in their hands. One of them shouted, "Stop the ritual. Remove the human at once." Kayla stood up instantly, dragging Ethan behind her. Her markings blazed brighter than ever, almost blinding. She raised her hand, and a golden shockwave burst from her palm, slamming into the intruders and throwing them back into the hallway. The ground shook. Ethan's heart pounded. Kayla turned to him, eyes glowing fiercely. "We must finish it now. Hold on to me." They knelt again. The symbols shone brighter, brighter, until the room was nothing but gold. Ethan felt a final surge of heat in his chest. Something snapping into place. A connection. A link. And then everything went silent. The golden light faded slowly. The room darkened. Kayla opened her eyes. She looked exhausted, breathing hard, body trembling, but she was smiling. "It is done," she whispered. "We are bonded. No one can take you from me now. Ethan felt something warm inside him, like Kayla's presence resting in his thoughts, calm and steady. We did it. The intruders were gone, driven off by the shockwave of the completed bond. The door hung open, smoke still drifting through the hallway, but no enemies remained. Kayla stood up slowly and offered her hand to Ethan. He took it. Their bond glowed softly between their fingers. From this moment, Kayla said, you are part of my house, my people, my life. Ethan smiled, tired but relieved. And I'm not going anywhere. Kayla leaned her forehead against his once more. You belong here, she whispered. For the first time since meeting her, Ethan believed it completely. The end